Houston. Good morning from Houston. I just want to start over, try again. So it's just going to be me today. Usually I have a guest come on with me and they talk about what they do and, their career, how they got there, all of that. But today I really wanted to get into real estate, getting real with it, which is kind of why I kept the vibe of I'm in my PJs and I've got a hat on and I've got my glasses and I didn't fix my hair and I didn't do my makeup. In fact, there might be some left over from yesterday. But I wanted to jump on and really talk to you guys about what's going on in the real estate world right now for me personally. I'm going into my 8th month in real estate. 8 months. It's crazy. I can't believe that we're that far in. It's been an interesting road and I've learned a lot along the way. There's a couple things that I do want to talk to you guys about, but I want to start just talking about my journey. So if you watched the first episode, you already know I went to Champion School Real Estate, and that's where I got my license. I got my license through the state, taking the state national test. But in order to do that, I studied at Champions for my real estate license. I really felt that helped me personally with my knowledge of real estate. I think if I had done online, I wouldn't have understood it as much as I do now. And also, school is not all. That's not all you have to do, because as soon as I jumped out of real estate school, I jumped into Ignite with Keller Williams, their training program, and I started learning things there and learning from mentors and learning from open houses and learning from podcasts. It's not just school. You can't just step out into the real estate world and think you know everything, because you don't. And one of the best pieces of business advice I've gotten this whole time has been, if you're in a career where you stop learning, get a new career. And that's why I love real estate so much, because it's constantly changing. We're learning. The contracts are different. The paperwork is different. We're always learning something new in this industry. And I feel like it makes me stronger in my knowledge and wealth that I have gathered so far. Real estate, one of the things I feel like I hear a lot is people think real estate's going to be easy. Real estate's not easy, and it is not just a job. It's a business. You have to run it with a business mindset. And, nothing about it is easy. Not the open houses. You sit there for hours and you wait for 1 or 2 people to come in and you shoot your shot, and a lot of the times they're already represented or they're not interested in talking to you. And that's okay. That's okay. But it's hard. It's hard. And then sometimes clients are hard. Sometimes they're super particular. And maybe you don't know how to deal with people like that. And you learn how to deal with those specific clients. Or maybe a situation comes up in a deal where, something's not right. Something's confusing, or something's, out of the ordinary. And you have to find your way through it. And it's not easy. Writing contracts is not easy. Learning all of the verbiage and exactly what it means, it's not easy. I think that, for me, my biggest struggle this far has been, sitting with the just knowing that I still have a lot to learn and I'm not going to know everything. And, I can try my very hardest in everything that I do, and there's still going to be mistakes and failures, and I need to be okay with that. I need to be okay with moving forward, stepping up, and learning, and taking that mistake or that situation or that client or whatever with a grain of salt. There's a lot. There's a lot that goes into real estate that people don't tell you about. And, if you're not a people person, I wouldn't suggest real estate, because real estate is all about people. So in my business model, for me, I spend a lot of time networking. That's something that I do personally. It's in my calendar. I go to networking events every month, and then I also have a networking group that I go to every week. If you are a realtor or if you're any business owner, you should really get involved with BNI. BNI has really been awesome for me. I've got to meet a lot of people. I have a lot of good business owners in my back pocket now, that when someone calls me and they say, hey, do you have anybody that does this? I say, give me a second. Let me connect you with so-and-so. And it's been really great, because in my group alone, I have, a travel planner, a massage therapist. I have a financial planner, an IT guy, a pest control guy, a roofer. I have, PNC insurance. I have all of these people who are now in my corner that I know, and I get to, not only refer out to them, but they refer to me, and I get to, really help people with people that I know and trust. Because that's something I really wanted, was to have a roster of people that, didn't just meet me and were like, yeah, I can help you. Yeah, absolutely. I'll take your business. Absolutely. But people who really care about me and my business and what's going on in my life. And I know that if they'll take care of me personally, they'll take care of my clients. So BNI is super, super cool. And if you're not involved, you should be. I actually went to the conference for 2 days this past week. And it was really cool. It was really cool to get to see so many business owners get together here in Houston and kind of talk to each other, get to know each other, and, just experience what it's like to be small business owners together. For my generation, I feel like it's coming around that we all are very much building our own businesses and building our own strategies for life. And life is hard right now. Things are expensive. Interest rates are high. The market, let's not even get started. It's all over the place. And I feel like, we're learning how to take ourselves to the next level. And to do that, you have to surround yourself with people that you know and trust. So if you're in any small business, whether it's real estate, roofing, pest control, lawn care, whatever it is, surround yourself with people that you trust, and your business is guaranteed to grow. It's guaranteed. It has to. It has to. So I want to talk about a couple things that I've run into in real estate that I didn't realize when I was in school that I was going to deal with this kind of stuff. And so that's what I want to talk to you guys about. So if, you're in real estate or you're in other businesses, maybe you can take something from what I learned. That's what we're going to get into right now. So I want to talk about quitclaim deeds. Quitclaim deeds are a whole beast here in Texas. For example, I have some clients, love them, working with them. They're fantastic. But they have quitclaim deeds on their property. They have a nice little property. It has a pool and a shed and a mobile home on it. It's right on the Trinity River. Beautiful little spot. And I signed a listing agreement with them to get them on the market. And as I was going through all of their paperwork, I found that there was a quitclaim deed. And so I had heard about them in school. People tell you, they're like, you're not going to see them that much. Don't stress too much about them, blah, 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 whatever. So I pulled it immediately. And I was like, this is interesting. I want to send it over to title and see, what's going on here. So I sent it over to a local title company. They started looking at it. And they were like, hey, so don't go on the market yet, because this property has 2 quitclaim deeds on it. One signed in 2014 and one signed in 2016. And immediately I was like, okay, so what do we need to do? And they were like, okay, we have to find these people that they signed these quitclaim deeds with, and we have to get them to sign a general warranty deed. And I was so confused. And I was like, so the quitclaim deeds, it's like a piece of paper that you go to the courthouse and someone signs that piece of paper transferring the property to the next owner. But apparently here in Texas, they don't accept quitclaim deeds, but they still do it at the courthouse. I don't get it. I won't get it. But the reason they don't accept quitclaim deeds is because it doesn't provide a guarantee of ownership. Texas law favors special warranty deeds and general warranty deeds, which explicitly, guarantee ownership. When you just use that quitclaim deed, you are considering all other heirs or people who might have owned it years and years ago. So what we're doing now is the title company is trying to get this handled and call these people and find them and get them to sign this general warranty deed. Well, this has been going on since November of last year, and we're in April. We're still dealing with it. We can't go on the market until it's handled, because if we go under contract, say they get a full price offer, what they're asking. We go under contract. Everything goes good. Inspections go good. Survey goes good. Everything is perfect. We get to closing. They're not going to be able to close because these quitclaim deeds, there's other people behind those people that own this property, and it wasn't transferred completely to my clients. So they would just have to sit and wait for this to get handled. Say we had gone under contract in November, we would still be sitting here, and most likely we would have lost our buyers. We would have lost them. And one thing that I've learned in real estate is that your best buyers are your top 10 that come through. The top 10 that come through your open houses, that view your property, those are the ones most likely to put in an offer and purchase the property. So we don't want to get on the market, get an offer, and then get stuck behind these quitclaim deeds. So my advice as a real estate agent is watch out for these quitclaim deeds. When you're pulling your MLS, when you're pulling paperwork, when you ask them, for everything to get on the MLS, make sure you pay attention. Because if there's a quitclaim deed, you might want to send it on a title because you might have the same issue. And, it's really important that you take care of that. You handle it. Because if you don't, you might have lost your only buyers, your only purchasers. So that's what I'm dealing with that. And these clients have been so gracious and kind, and I really appreciate them because I'd be frustrated if I was them, waiting on this to get settled. They've been really open to allowing me to educate them and help them get through this, and holding on so that we can get this listing on the market. And that's the kind of relationships you have to have with your clients, because if they don't trust you to pull them out of this hole that, I don't want to say they dug. They didn't. This is something they didn't know. Texas, what are you doing? Why are you allowing people to get quitclaim deeds? But the fact that they allow me to guide them through this means that they really do trust me, and I appreciate the love and trust that these clients are giving me in this situation. But, if you're in Texas, don't do the quitclaim deeds, and as a realtor, watch out for quitclaim deeds. And if you have any questions, feel free to give me a call, text me, call me, send me a message. I can help as much as I can and connect you with people that I know that can help as much as you can, or as much as they can. The next thing I want to talk about is surveys. So I knew what a survey was I got the idea. I've seen them before. I've seen plots before, but never have I ever dealt with a survey. This story is interesting. So I had some clients that went under contract, and they had a survey done. Well, the survey came back, and they had an outbuilding. So it was a gorgeous home with an outbuilding. And when I say outbuilding, I don't mean a shed. It's like this beautiful 14 by 20 electricity, flooring shed. We're talking man cave. Like, this shed is everything. It's a whole other office space outside the home. Well, the clients, they viewed the house, they love the house, they love the outbuilding, they love the property, everything's great. So, it comes around, survey comes back. That outbuilding was 8 feet past the build line. So, it wasn't even on the property. So when we looked at the survey, we didn't notice that this building was outside the build lines. So we send it to the bank that was the lender, and we send it to title, and the bank comes back, and they're like, oh, clear to close. Good to go. Awesome. Yay! Title comes back and says, the outbuilding isn't on the property, so we're going to need you to sign something saying that we're not going to insure that, and it's not going to be part of the sale. And we all are like, what? The building's not on the property? But it was advertised as part of the property. No way. So I call the listing agent. I'm like, hey, did you see this email? And she's like, yeah, I saw the email. There's no way. They built that building. That building is on their property. And I was like, okay, all right, well, give them a call. Let's see what happens. So she calls them, they call title. Title tells them it's not part of the property. The listing agent and me get back on the phone, and we're talking about the survey, and she's like, I'm positive it's on there. I was like, okay, all right, well, let's go out to the property. Let's measure. And she was like, okay, all right, let's measure. Let's meet out there. So we drive out there. It's like an hour and 20 minutes for me. No big deal. I love driving. I drive all the time for my job. I always joke that my office is not actually in my house or at KW, but it is in my car because I spend a lot of time in my car. Anyway, so we drive out to a little town called Cold Spring, and that's where we get this property and start measuring. And we measure every part of it. Every part of it. We measure from the house to the build line. We measure from the property line to the building. We measure the front of the house. We measure all kinds of stuff, right? And we have the survey pulled up on our phones, and we're comparing and be like, okay, so this stake is here, and this stake is here, and this stake is here, and this stake, well, that one was planted. Okay, good. And we find all 4 of the stakes, and you know what? They're right. That building is 8 foot past the build line, past the property line, I guess. And so we even measured the house to the build line because I was curious, right? So we measured the house to the build line 5 feet from the build line. How in the world did they build a house so close to the build line? I don't know. Crazy. But lucky because they were exactly 5 feet from the build line. Yeah, so that was wild. But the whole point of this, the buyers ended up backing out of the transaction. They thought they were getting the outbuilding. They thought they had more space, and they didn't. And, it's totally understandable. They backed out, got their earnest money. The sellers gave the earnest money back, and that was very kind of them. So I'm glad it worked out that way. But the point of the story is, if you haven't done this, if you haven't gotten out and measured and used a survey like you have it, and this is what I would say do different than what I did. Print it out. Print out your survey so you can learn where everything is. Because on my phone I was like trying to zoom and everything. It was crazy. But print it out. Go out there. Take your measuring tape. Take whatever tools you need. Measure your survey lines. I think that was the most crazy experience that I've ever had, and I learned so much about surveys. I learned how to identify the markers. I learned, what the difference between the property and the build line is. I learned all kinds of stuff from getting out there. And I think it's because I'm really a hands-on learner. I learn from getting my hands dirty, from digging into what I'm doing. And so getting out there and seeing that survey in person, it changed my whole view of surveys. I got to actually feel what it was like to be a surveyor, kind of measuring and getting to see exactly where everything is. Unfortunately, that deal fell out, and, I was discouraged. And I know the listing agent was discouraged, and I know the sellers were discouraged, and I'm sure the buyers were discouraged. They had to be. It was a lot for everybody. I know the sellers have been on the market since October of last year, and they finally got it under contract. Everybody was so excited. And then this happens, and the whole deal fell apart. So, learning your surveys and learning how to read surveys can really help you in the future. You can be able to look at them and hopefully catch those things like Title did. If Title hadn't caught that, oh my gosh, we'd be, 2-3 years down the road getting a call like, hey, the building isn't on our property and we're being told to move it. And we would have no idea because Title didn't catch it. My first 8 months in real estate have been wild. I've learned so much, and I've met so many people, and I've done so many things. Knights Round Table being one of them. The podcast is awesome. I like it. My guest who was going to be on with me in March wasn't able to make it. So I decided to do it on my own. And then we moved into April and I, had to move things around. But, it's really amazing to have these business owners come on and talk about what they do, how they do it, and what's going on with them. It's really awesome. So that's been a blessing. And then B&I, meeting all these people, having the opportunity to be part of a global networking, group that, I went to that conference. I met realtors from all over, South Carolina, North Carolina, California, Colorado, Georgia, here in Texas, San Antonio. I met people from everywhere. And so, that's been another really great opportunity for me to grow as a person. And then, the deals that I have been through, I've, closed a couple tenants that have really, taught me to be humble. Tenants, it's not a high payout, but I like to do it. I like to help people find their place. And that makes me feel good, and it's why I chose real estate. I didn't choose real estate to make millions of dollars. If I do, great, awesome, but that's not why I chose it as my career. I chose it as my career to help people find a home, a place, whether that's an apartment, whether that's a rental house, whether that's, buying or selling their home. It's about the experience, and that's why I chose real estate, to help people have good experiences in real estate. I won't lie to you. It hasn't been easy. None of real estate is easy. And there's been times where I've cried, where I've been yelled at, where I've been ignored, where I've been just wholly discouraged. But I didn't give up, and I don't plan on it. I don't plan on giving up. This is a long game. Real estate's a long game, and I will keep playing until I win. I have a heart for people, and that's why I want to do this. And I'm hoping that I'll come back in a year and I'll look at this video and I'll say, man, you went through that. That was crazy. But look what else we went through. And look where we are now. We're coming to the end of the podcast. And, I always ask people, what advice would you give to the next business owner that comes in the room? And I honestly hadn't thought about it yet. I hadn't thought about what I would tell the next business owner, because at this point I don't even know who it's going to be. But if I had to tell the next business owner anything that I've learned that would help them, I think it would be don't give up. When I was in Champion School Real Estate, they told me, I want to say it was like 53% of people drop out of real estate before their second year. 53% of people. So if I can just make it to my second year, I'll be better than 53% of real estate agents. So there's that. Don't give up. Keep going. It's hard. Businesses, it's hard. It's going to be hard. Nothing is easy. Nothing is easy. Don't stop what you're doing right now. Keep doing things. Keep striving. Keep moving forward. Don't give up. Don't stop. Don't back off. Don't, say, well, I'm going to take a break for a little bit. No, don't do it. Keep going. Keep going. Because one day you're going to turn around, you're going to look back, and you're going to say, I did that. And it was hard, but I did it. And you're going to get up on a stage somewhere and accept an award, and you're going to get to tell business owners what your advice would be to them. This is the end of the podcast for me. Thank you so much for listening. Just listening to me yap. If you have any questions or anyone specifically you want to see on the podcast, I'd love to know. I'd love to know who you want to see. I would love to invite, some bigger business owners. It's going to be an adventure, but I think we can do it. Let me know what questions you want to hear asked or who you want to hear from, and I will do my best to get them on here. Thanks so much for listening, guys. I really appreciate you, and thanks for supporting Knights Roundtable. It's just me doing what I do and listening to wonderful business owners about what they do. So thanks so much. Have a great day, and I will see you soon.